Welcome back to the channel, everyone. BLN437. It's been a while since I've been able to say that, just because I've been dealing with the stomach issue for about the past 3 weeks. I have been feeling better, and I'm ready to get back into doing this, having fun, making videos, interacting with you guys. So, I'm just excited. I can't wait to see what 2018 brings upon us. I hope you guys had a good holiday season and a happy new year, like I said. Can't wait to see what 2018 will bring, not only upon me, but you guys as well. I'm happy to, or I will be excited, I should say, to hear how your 2018 is going. So let's just get on with the video. We're going to talk about Edgar Martinez Hall of Fame candidacy. Now, the reason why I chose Edgar Martinez, even though a lot of reports are out there that he's on the verge of making it to the Hall of Fame, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, is because I just want to talk about how important he was, not only to the game of baseball, but to the designated hitter spot. I know a lot of people like to talk about David Ortiz and how great David Ortiz is, but to be honest with you, I don't believe that there's a David Ortiz without an Edgar Martinez. And Edgar Martinez, though he wasn't the power hitter in the sense of he was hitting 35 to 40 home runs like David Ortiz was each season, he was a great on-base percentage plus slugging guy, and he was a decent power hitter. And to be honest with you, if he was able to play more in the 1993 and 94 seasons, I believe that he would have a better career, and I think he would have a better career stat line when it comes to just the regular numbers that you like to see, average, home run, RBIs. Because when you look deep into his sabermetric numbers and you go into the analytics of things, it's phenomenal. So let's just get in quickly with Edgar Martinez Hall of Fame candidacy and why he's important. One, because he revolutionized the DH position. I mean, he was one of, if not the best, pure hitters in the game of baseball. And it wasn't until the age of 32. Now, think about it this way, guys. Most people are starting to exit their prime at the age of 32, going into 33, 34, 35, 36. He was just entering what would then become his prime years. That's impressive. Not a lot of people can go out there and get better from age 24, from when he debuted in the bigs, to age 32. I mean, he was a late bloomer, yes, but he was one of the best hitters that you would ever see post the age of 30. We talk a lot about that age of 30 in today's game of baseball. We don't want to give out 7-year contracts. We don't want to give out 8-year contracts or 10-year contracts to guys that are in their 30s or now entering their 30s. He was doing this stuff past the age 30 season and doing it well. Now, I just want to focus on 1995 for a second. That's when he really got going. He hit 29 home runs, drove in 113 RBIs, hit 356. His on-base percentage was .479. On-base percentage was 1.107, which is phenomenal. And his on-base percentage plus slugging was 185. Now, for you guys that don't know what the on-base percent plus slugging percentage is, or how you value that, if it's 100, it's okay. It's pretty much average. If it's 125, it's good. And if it's over 150, it's elite. That's an MVP quality bat there that you have in your batting in your lineup. And he had a phenomenal on-base percentage plus slugging on top of an on-base percentage slugging average, and he had decent RBI stats with a decent home run stat as well. Now, from that time, from 1995 to pretty much 2000, which I consider to be his prime years, even 2001, we can even go in and say that those were his prime years. He was averaging about 30 home runs a season. He was averaging about 100 RBIs. And he was hitting 300 in all of those seasons. Even 2001, he hit 300. But that's not the part that I think is important about Edgar Martinez. We talk about that. He was an All-Star MVP, I believe 3 or 4 times. He was a 2-time batting champion, 7-time All-Star, and I believe he won the Silver Slugger 5 times. He was a 5-time Silver Slugger Award winner, which is great. You want to see that stuff. I just want to talk more a little bit about his analytical stats. Now, when we average his WAR throughout the seasons, he was a 5-win player, which is great. That 5-win, 6-win player, that's great. You want to get 5 to 6. If you can get 5 to 6 wins, that's great. That's what you want. That's what you want to see out of Edgar Martinez. Now, overall, he was a 68 win player. That's great. 68 win player. That means that he was pretty much, him alone in your lineup, he did enough to help you win about 70 games throughout the season. That's really, really impressive. Now, I'm not going to go too much into his defensive stats because he wasn't that great of a defender. That's one of the reasons why he spent a lot of his time at the DH position, just like David Ortiz. But he revolutionized it, and he made that spot important to David Ortiz. Now, on top of having a great regular season and just career, he did have 18 years in the big leagues, which is solid. 18 years, hey, a lot of people don't make it 18 years. And he was able to make it 18 years, and he was still productive in his age 38, 39, and 40 season. The average kind of fell off a little bit. He wasn't the same 300 hitter after the age of 38. But the power numbers were still there. I mean, he hit 15 home runs, I believe it was. And then in his age 39 season, and then his age 40 season, he brought back the power with 24 home runs and drove in 98 ribbies. And in his 2004 season, where he turned 41, he just wasn't really the same. He that was pretty much the end of Edgar. But man, from that age of 32 to 40, he was a good hitter and a decent hitter, and he still had a decent on-base percentage, decent slugging percentage, and decent on-base percentage plus slugging percentage, which I know a lot of you guys probably don't care about that stuff, but it's an important stat because that means he was getting on base, whether it was taking walks, whether it's finding ways to get hits, and he was still finding ways to drive in runs, even at an age where most people don't start to see their production either increase, they see a huge decrease. He didn't have that big of a decrease. I mean, yeah, he did at the age of 41, and maybe we can kind of get on him about that age 39 season, where he only had about 15 home runs, which is fine. I get that. I understand why somebody would want to, I guess, say that, oh, well, he didn't really show that he was elite in that season as well. But that's not the point. The point is that from the age of 32, pretty much until the age of 40, he was what a lot of people in today's day and age would pay 4 years, 5 years for $50 to $60 million, maybe even $80 million. I mean, look at Carlos Santana. Carlos Santana is a $60 million player. For a guy that doesn't hit for average and just drives in about 20 to 25 home runs and hits about 80 RBIs. And he really doesn't play defense all that well. He was a DH for a good chunk of that time in Cleveland. Yeah, he played the outfield, he played third base, he played first base a little bit here and there throughout his tenure in Cleveland. But he was a full-time DH pretty much. And Edgar Martinez was hitting for average, hitting for decent power, and driving in 100 RBIs. And he was doing it at 32 and older. Like, what? That's incredible. A lot of people would want an Edgar Martinez type bat in their lineup today if he was at that age, 32, 33. So let's look at that. That's important. And let's just talk about his one postseason kind of appearance that sticks out to me. And it's the 95 postseason appearance. It's the first year that the wild card was implemented. They beat the New York Yankees in that series. Now, for a lot of people that don't remember that 1995 wild card series, that was the series in which they deemed the season and the hit, which Edgar Martinez got, that saved the city of Seattle, or saved baseball in the city of Seattle, when Griffey scored I believe it was from first base to home, on a beautiful, beautiful hit by Edgar Martinez to left field. But let's look at his stats. He had 27 plate appearances, 21 at-bats. He went 12 for 21. He had 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs, 6 walks, only 2 strikeouts, which you don't see that much anymore, especially in the postseason today. Look at Aaron Judge, Cody Bellinger. Those guys struck out a ton. He hit .571, on-base percentage of .667, on-base percentage of 1.167. I mean, this guy was as elite as you could come and as clutch as you could come in that 1995 postseason. I mean, he was just electric. Now, he didn't play well, or he didn't hit well against Cleveland in the following series, the championship series. But man, he was as good can be in that division series against the Yankees. Now, he had one more great postseason, which to me is the 2000 postseason, the ALDS, where he was just electric. I mean, he hit 364. He didn't do that much with the power. He only had, I believe, one home run, and he only drove in 2 runs, but he still got on base, still did what he needed to do, and that was important. But the 1995 postseason is the one that we should really look at the most. He was just phenomenal. So when you look at all of that, guys, and you look at he was a 68 win player. He was an average 5 to 6 win player, which is great. To me, that's great, especially for a DH. That's great because you're not impacting the game defensively. You're only impacting it with your bat, which, I mean, yeah, that's a huge part, but defense is just as huge to me as offense. He still was able to pull up 5 to 6 wins as a WAR stat that I'm going with. He got better not when he was younger, but when he was at his age 32 season and as he got older. If you wanna say that he could have had better stats in the sense of home run and RBIs, you can say that 93 and 94, I should say, were 2 seasons that really hurt him since he didn't get that much playing time due to the fact that he just couldn't. There was nowhere to put him on the field, and he was the cornerstone to me of a great Seattle offense that included a prime Ken Griffey Jr., an up and coming A-Rod. That's solid. I mean, you look at that. If you look at that 2-3-4 punch, we talk about today's combination of Judge, Sanchez, or Judge, Stanton, and Sanchez, Griffey, Martinez, A-Rod. Wow, and he was in the middle of that, and he was producing numbers, and quite honestly, being, I think, good protection for those guys, if not better protection for those guys. That's phenomenal. And that's a Hall of Fame career. And that's why, to me, him being a designated hitter and him not making to the Hall of Fame before a guy like David Ortiz hurts the game of baseball. He revolutionized the game of baseball. He revolutionized what it was to be a DH in this game. He has. And if you're going to have David Ortiz go in, you have to have Edgar, because Edgar made it so guys like him could have success and be looked at as great players. Now, for some of you guys, like I said, that don't know how great Edgar was, you guys need to just check it out for yourself. There's YouTube clips of him hitting home runs in the postseason and just some of the great things that he did in that postseason. And I really hope that a lot of you guys check his stats out. Just check all of his stats. If you guys are into the advanced sabermetric type of stuff, analytics type of stuff, check out those stats. Other than the defensive stuff, which I don't think you guys should put into play, especially since he spent most of his career as a designated hitter. But if you look at his offensive stats and you look at his WAR, he's one of the best pure hitters that this game has ever seen. And if you just want to go off of traditional stats, look at the age from 32, where you expect players to start to kind of decline a bit. And as you guys can see, guys like JD Martinez, they can't even get signed because players are worried, or not players, but teams are worried about giving JD Martinez a 7-year deal for $189 million because they don't know what they're going to get in the next 4 to 5 years. At least you could say, you know what, at 32 years old and going forward, Edgar Martinez was going to give you productive at-bats, and he was going to give you decent power numbers, along with great on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and batting average, which is great. Phenomenal. So, once again, I personally believe he needs to be a Hall of Famer. I hope that the reports are true, that he is on the verge of being a Hall of Fame player, that he is in the Hall of Fame. I don't think you can have David Ortiz be the only DH to get in when it's his time. I think Edgar needs to already be there before David Ortiz. And then if you want to put David Ortiz in, you put David Ortiz in, but at least you gave Edgar his due, because Edgar is that great of a hitter. And I believe that if Edgar had those 2 seasons in 93 and 94, that we would have seen a better overall career number, or career numbers, I should say, for Edgar Martinez. So anyways, guys, that's my video here. I'm going to be doing more videos like this about other Hall of Fame candidates that I believe need to make it into the Hall of Fame. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video a lot. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment as well. Let me know what you guys think. It's been a while since I've been on, I know, but I'm very interested in seeing what you guys are up to, what's going on with everybody. And if you are new, hey, don't don't be afraid to leave something down in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. I am going to continue my MLB offseason. It's been slow. The Mets did sign Jay Bruce. I might go over that. I'm definitely going to go over Hugh Darvish and his list of teams. And I might just, in that video, put Jay Bruce's deal in that kind of video and just kind of do like a weekly kind of thing there with the MLB offseason. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get off here. And I'll see you guys in the next video.